from your little pocket of the universe. You doing what you got to do. And each one of those ripples is what creates the wave. You know what I mean? Oh. Yo, you was a bird, bitch. You a bird. Anyway, speaking of birds. No, because this is just a catch-up session. So please do not get overly involved in this. Wait a minute. You guys. Can we talk about Jaguar Wright? What's wrong with her? Okay, Jaguar Wright. I don't know what song she had. I know she used to be down with the Roots. She's from Philly. I know that she is very well known for singing on the MTV Live Unplugged version with Jay-Z's Song Cry. I know she did MTV Unplugged with him. So, let me just read this. And she said in part, freedom of speech is what this country is built on. Speak your mind. Just know that video my friend has of at the Mary J. Blige eating her out is real. That bitch is a whole fraud. And her whole marriage to Kentu was arranged. Maybe Mary J. Blige's girlfriend liked her husband better. Who knows? I told y'all I got tapes of everyone. Why is she so... Okay, first of all, she goes on to say, like I said, I have tapes on everybody. I was a smut dealer for many years until I returned to Christ. Did Christ return her back? I'm confused. But, ... Leverage is leverage and revenge is a dish best served cold. Girl, can someone go get her? Listen, Jaguar, darling, here's a little sage advice for all of us, right? If you are on the low energy pole and you're still saying stuff like revenge is a dish best served cold, and that's where your mind is at, you are vibrating on a very low level. If you were a car, your emissions would be failing because the gas that you would be giving out from your vibration right now would be very bad. Okay? That's the only way I can describe this. Revenge is a dish best served cold. However, it's also drinking the poison and expecting someone else to die from it. See, what I mean by that, you don't just serve revenge and move on. You carry that energy with you everywhere you go. You paint the walls of your life with it. So you don't just hang it up and then after you've done your done your read, you just move on with your life. That's not how it works, you guys. All right? The way it works is you carry that kind of energy with you everywhere you go, good, bad, or indifferent. And the problem is that life starts to reflect that back to you. That is why it is imperative that what you think, what you believe, what you ingest, and how you behave are all in alignment, which is very difficult. It's difficult for me. Because, see, the power is in understanding that your mind doesn't control you. You control your mind. Therefore, you must create space between thought and action in order to ensure that your behavior and your speech align with how you actually really feel inside. Because most people don't believe that they're horrible people. Most people think that they're good people. Yeah. Most people think that they are all right. Very rare do you hear a person say, you know what, I'm actually a real son of a bitch. It's highly unlikely. So Jaguar, Darling, and everyone else in that class of revenge, close your textbooks, open up the blinds, and put a little sun in your heart. Because revenge, though a dish best served cold, it is also one that is very unpalatable. And you don't just serve it, you eat it. Yeah. Speaking of which, can we have an aw moment? Aw. And you know why I say that? Because on a recent YouTube episode of Unfiltered with Naomi Campbell revealed how meeting Mary J. Blige inspired her to enroll in rehab. Now, Mary J. Blige recalled meeting Naomi in the bathroom at a Dolce & Gabbana fashion show in Milan. How fabulous. Speaking of Mary J. Blige. Jaguar, is this what you're mad at? Is this what you're mad at? You're mad? Okay. Anyways, Mary J. Blige is like telling the story about how she met Naomi in the bathroom at a Dolce & Gabbana show in Milan, right? And she was like, hey, this is too good to be true. The most beautiful woman in the world is here talking to me, Mary J. Blige from Slow Bomb Projects in Yonkers. So Naomi basically chimed in and was like, yeah, girl, I remember meeting you. And, one of the things that stuck out to me was that you looked at me and said, we are from the same tribe. And it's so interesting because Naomi went on to say, I don't know if you ever knew, but the next day I went and checked myself into rehab. And you could see in the video that Mary is, kind of like, wow, what? And she was like, yeah, I didn't know, and, Mary said to her, well, your presence gave me so much confidence because, I didn't have confidence in myself, my life, my looks, any of that. Nobody could tell when you meet beautiful, strong women like you, like everyone praises you. And at any rate, Naomi Campbell has been very forthcoming about her battle with cocaine and alcohol and, going through some rough times. And Mary J. Blige has also been very forthcoming about her battles with cocaine and, other drugs and alcohol. And, it's such an amazing thing when someone looks at you and they see you, and not just see you, because I think that, if I could be forthcoming, I am definitely a person who has always understood the value in presentation, which is probably no wonder that I do what I do for a living, but I've always understood the value of presentation. And what I mean by that is, I grew up with my mom being very cognizant about the way her kids looked when we went out and how we presented and, how mannerable we are or were and, respectful to adults, and we just looked clean, and we just were, very mindful and very, it was imperative that we, were in line. And so because of that, I've always been hyper aware of my presentation. So I've had moments where I've felt like absolute garbage, but I've looked amazing. And I don't say that from an egoic standpoint, but I say it from a place of there are many of us who have perhaps perfected presentation. And I'm a Virgo, so I'm very hooked on presentation. I'm very hooked on perfection, And so because of that, the way that I present is oftentimes never indicative of what I'm actually feeling inside. Like I'll put on a full beat of makeup. That doesn't mean I'm feeling great or bad. I just fucking like makeup. You know what I mean? Like I've never the way I present myself is not conditional. It's you have your days where, you don't put in that much effort and you might try very little. But for the most part, I'm oftentimes cognizant of the way that I present myself. And, I mean that beyond the facade of just my clothes, my face, my hair, the way that I speak, who I'm around, etc., etc. So to have these two women speak endearly about seeing each other, and really, for Mary to say to Naomi, we are of the same tribe. And the way she internalized it was, I see you. And Naomi went and got help, And I think a lot of us kind of struggle with, not wanting people to see us. One could say, my therapist has often said to me, is your presentation and the chase of perfection in your presentation, something about people not really seeing you? Does it have something, are you hiding behind perfection? And listen, please don't get me twisted. I ain't saying I'm perfect. It's another time to hit the blonde, no? A little brownie for my brownie, yes? Okay. I'm not saying that I'm perfection. And I'm, what I am saying is, I think that it is amazing when people see you. And when people see you, what they're identifying with is the human part of you. The actual human being. The beingness of you. So, I say all that to say, try not to hide behind that. Allow people to see you. Allow people to connect to you. I think we've gotten to a place where we are oftentimes priding ourselves on how disconnected we are from each other. I don't need nobody. I'm out here rolling dolo, yo. The best way to go is dolo. I think that mentality oftentimes is cultural for our people. This bad by myself mentality. Listen, yeah, you can be bad by yourself, but the Bible talks about how great it is to go it together. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with us needing each other. We are humans that are being. And in that beingness, we do need each other. But in order for that to happen, you've got to allow people to connect to you. Allow people to see you. And not just see your facade, but see you. And if you're unsure about who that is, connect to that. Now, that's easier said than done. I know. But you know what? The joy is in the journey. There isn't an arrival place of getting to know yourself. I'm 41 years old. And the self that I'm getting to know right now, I really like her. She's so fucking chill. Yeah. Get into that. All right. Last but not least, before we leave each other. All right. Last but not least. Okay, what you want to talk about? You want to talk about Mr. Wells Fargo, playing himself? Do you want to talk about, I don't know. What you want to talk about? Oh, bitch. So, all right. Can we talk about your president for 1 minute? Are we in a place where we're okay to talk about politics? Are you in the mood? You just want to hit the blim one time? All right. First of all, hey, you guys, quick question for you. Did you guys know that Future dug into his bag of niceties? He dug into his Russell Wilson bag and started the Wellness on Wheels, a health initiative for senior citizens impacted by COVID. Yeah, kind of dope, right? Listen, I am always going to challenge brothers when they are doing